So I thought it's about time I did a long overdue van tour video. Now I've had quite a few questions on what sort of solar I've got, what battery I've got. So let's get into this van tour, and what better place to start than up on the roof. So obviously up at the front there we've got a 170 watt solar panel, which actually looks like it needs a really good clean. So yeah, that's going to be a job when I get home. Just behind it you can see here we've got an antenna. This is for amateur radio, which you can use on the PMR bands. I've actually got a license for it. I'll show you that in the cab. Then at the back of the van we've got a 400x400 FEMA roof vent, just a standard roof vent, no max air fan or anything fancy like that. So yeah, and then obviously over there we've got the Dometic awning, and it's a 4-metre awning, this one. So the cab area in this van is standard as it came out of the factory. The only thing I have actually changed is the swivel seat in the front on the double, and we fitted an iPad in the dash rather than the standard radio. It's just involved a little bit of cutting out. I've got a little amplifier in there so the volume's easy enough to turn up and down. That works fantastic. So obviously you need the internet while you're driving. We generally use our phones to hook that up. And I've also got a switch down here, which I'll show you. Yeah, so that switch right there, rather than having a split charge system in the van, I've put a switch in and it's wired from my van battery to my leisure battery, which enables me, while we're driving, if I switch it on, it will charge the leisure battery. But also when it's parked up, if I switch it on and leave it on, the solar panel will put charge back into the van battery, which is great because sometimes we don't use this van for a couple of weeks and the battery tends to drop down a bit. So that's why I did it this way. So when we go away, obviously we've got the bed in the back, Zach sleeps in the front, and it's like a little den for him. We've got some blinds we can put up on the insides of the windows. We've got external blinds as well if we need them. But yeah, basically I've got a 4-inch single mattress topper which we chuck in the front for Zach, a piece of wood here to stop him dropping down in the footwell. And I tell you what, it's a really comfy bed because we've all been in there at some stage. So there's a little wooden shelf I pop in just to stop him dropping down between the seats. So this is the mattressing, and this is where Zach sleeps in the front. Steering wheel this end, this is obviously you put your legs down this end, head up that end, and we normally take the headrests out to make it easy to get in and out. So yeah, he absolutely loves it in there, and like I say, it's like a bit of a den for him. We've got some USB sockets here so he can get his phone plugged in, so that's not too far away from him. Also, we have this shelf up here. So yeah, we've got quite a bit of storage there. It's probably about a foot deep, the gap there. We normally put all the camera gear up there, coats, stuff like that. Also in the front we've got this light up here, which gives that ample lighting. And here's the radio I was talking about. It's the Retivis RT95. I'll just switch it on, and it works on the 2-metre band and the 70cm band, and also works on the PMR frequencies. So also in the front I've got my selection of South Park teddies, because I used to be massively into South Park and I started collecting some teddies, so we've got a few that side and a few over there, look. Just a bit of decor. Also in the front here we've got these curtains, so obviously we can pull those across when we need to. We don't use them that much, but they're handy to have. So this is the double seat swivel round, obviously, so it gives us a bit more room in here, because obviously at the back we wanted a bigger bed, so I went for the super king size mattress. So it is a really big bed. It does take up a lot of the van, but it is super comfy. So also we have this seating area here, and it's just a bit of 4-inch proper upholstery foam. We've got some cushions there just to make it a bit comfier. Got a couple of cupboards up above here with overlapping doors, where we just keep us food in them. And under here is another USB which you can actually turn on and off so it don't light up all the time. And then in the window we've got the curtains. So there's the seating area. It comfortably sits two. It's nice if you just spread out, to be honest, one of you on there. Underneath it we've got a bit of storage at this end, and at that end we've got the Lpg 35 litre fridge freezer. It'll go from, I think it's 20 degrees down to -20, so you can use it as a fridge or a freezer. You can control it off your phone. That's absolutely brilliant, that is. It's a game changer, and it's a 12 volt compressor fridge, so it's virtually silent. In fact, with this cushion on that, you cannot hear it at all. Yeah, so there it is. It's sat down here. Look, just open it up. It's a good size, as you can see. We normally keep all the drinks in here, but if we go away for longer periods of time, because we've got two fridges. We've got a Dometic, which I'll show you in a minute. But generally speaking, we fill this with drinks, so we've always got cold drinks. And it doesn't matter if it's 32 degrees outside, this will keep its temperature. So as I said, we've got two fridges in this van, and there's the other fridge. It's a Dometic, and I think it's a 45 or 50 litre. It's got a little freezer compartment there. And this is a 12 volt compressor fridge as well. A little bit noisier than the Alpicool, but more accessible for, you know, everyday drinks and food and what have you. So there's our little toilet room. We have no shower or anything. It's just a porta potty with a curtain across it, so you can obviously be private in there. We might put a door on it one day. We've also got another light up here. These are super bright in the dark. I've also got these other light switches over here for these roof lights up here. There's several of those in the van. We've got a mirror over here. Then we've also got the Dometic sink. This is a sink and one gas burner, and that's what we do all our cooking on at the moment. Now, if you've looked at a previous video, I've cooked a full Christmas dinner on there, believe it or not, using a selection of Ridge Monkeys. So that's mainly what we cook with, but we did purchase last week a double gas ring. So the double gas ring will come in handy. Then obviously when we're cooking several items, we can cook them all at once. We can have the double gas one outside. We've got cold water, running cold water here. We've got no hot water at the moment. The cold water tank under there is a 70 litre water tank, which you fill from inside the van, which can be a bit of a pain, to be honest. I need to put an external fill point on it. So yeah, that's the sink and the cooker. Then underneath the cooker, we've got this little storage area down here, and that's where we keep cutlery, plates, yeah, all the normal stuff. Ridge Monkeys are in there, water for drinking, toilet fluids, bits and bobs. And then over here we've got a 240 socket. So as I said, the bed is a big bed. This is a super king size mattress. It's about 5-inch thick foam. It's super comfy. It really is. Also, if you notice, we've got a couple of flags up here. We've got the Belgian flag, because we absolutely love Belgium, and then we've got a Bob Marley flag. This was all boarded out when I originally bought it, and insulated with just some plywood. It looked a bit drab, so we've painted it up. We've actually done a bit of pallet wood panelling there and round here. I'm going to do a little bit more around the way the back door area is. So that was just to take a bit of the plainness away, really. And then we've got some overhead lockers up here, which I've made. I've not put any doors on them yet. I think I need to get around to putting them on one day. So obviously the heating in the van, we use LPG. So we've got the Propex 2000 watt blown air heater. We've got two heater vents. We've got one under the bed, and we've got one down the side of this cupboard. Also, I mentioned we had a 170 watt solar panel. The battery I use is a 200 amp hour AGM battery, which is in the back there. It's got a fuse box in there. We've also got a 110 watt inverter, and you can actually turn it on from in here, which is absolutely fantastic. So as I've mentioned, we've got Lpg tank fitted in here. It's underneath the bed in a gas locker. You can fill it up externally. I think it's 22 litre, it's a gas low one. So that can save an absolute fortune. It's a much cheaper way of getting gas than bottles. Now the downside to it is there's less and less places selling LPG, but there is a good app you can get, so that helps you out. We normally just, when we're going on a long journey somewhere, we'll have a look and see where these gas places are, and just keep the bottle topped up. So we're not really going out the way to fetch it. And there's one just near Doncaster at the Morrisons there, which isn't far from us, probably a 40-minute drive, so that's always one we can nip to. So in this van we've also got mains hookup. So I've only got one socket in the front and there's 4 under the bed. We don't really use the mains hookup, if we're honest. If we go to a site and you have to have electric, because sometimes you'll book a picture and it comes with electric, then we'll use it. But generally speaking, most things in this van are 12 volt, so we don't tend to use 240 volt. But in the 240 volt system I've got a Victron smart charger. So if we do go on a site and it's totally overcast and we're not getting any solar, we can put the hookup cable in, and the Victron charger will take care of both batteries if I put that switch over. So yeah, that's quite a handy thing to have. Now I have got a few jobs in the van I've not finished. There's a bit of wooding to put round the bottom in here. I did have some trim round there, but originally this Dometic fridge under here was under the bed, and what we were finding is we were having to crawl on our hands and knees to get stuff out, so I was going to have to move that. So we've had to take the panelling off. So I've got them bits to redo. There's some panelling to put round the back. I've put a little temperature gauge up here, and got a little temperature gauge up here and a time clock, humidity, because we're going to be heading to France soon, and I think that'll be quite a handy thing. Quite a handy thing to have, to be fair. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little video. I don't think I've missed anything. I probably missed loads, and I'll probably get home and think to myself, well, I didn't do this and I didn't do... Oh, that's one thing I didn't show you. Let me show you this. It's the Wall of Fame. The stickers we've collected so far down here. Now this area is filled up, so I have actually got a bit of perspex coming this week, and we're going to put it on the end of this cupboard here, and I'm going to put all the other stickers I've got on there. Oh, and one thing I didn't show you was underneath there, underneath the fridge, obviously you can see the other heater vent there, is where we keep all the shoes. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's video on the van tour. And if you can think of anything that'll help me improve things, ideas, if you want to know anything else about the van, just drop them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. So as always people, we'll see you in the next one.